Hi, this is practice quiz 13.4 through 13.6. I'm just going to go through them so that you can make sure you've got them correct. So looking at the instructions, we should always read our instructions first. Show all work necessary to answer each question. Round all decimals to 2 decimal places. So make sure you do this for your quiz on practice quiz here. Make sure when you take the quiz tomorrow, you check to see what the directions are. So number 1, solve the equation sine of theta equals 0.54 for 90 degrees to 180 degrees. So in order to get our theta alone, we have to use inverse sine. So I'm going to say the inverse sine of 0.54. That'll give me theta. And if you put that in your calculator, you'll get theta equals, you'll have 32 point, we're rounding to 2 decimal places, 68 degrees. Now, that value is not between 90 to 180, so I like to think of, if I draw my coordinate plane, where would it be? So if I draw a coordinate plane, I know that I want my answer from 90 to 180, so I want it in this quadrant right up here. Now, 32.6 would be somewhere around here. It'd be 32.6 away. So I need to think of my reference angle over here. That would be 32.6 degrees away from this axis. And this axis is 180 degrees. And I want to go 32.68 degrees less than that. So if I do 180 minus 32.68, we will get 147.32 degrees. 2, it says what's the measure of angle theta in the triangle shown. So here's my theta. If I label my sides, this is my hypotenuse. Across is my opposite. And next to my angle is my adjacent. So I know I have an adjacent and an opposite side. So I can say the tangent of theta equals opposite over adjacent. So 5 over 8. And to get theta alone, to make that go away, I have to do the inverse tangent on both sides to make this cancel out. So theta is going to equal the inverse tangent of 5/8. And if you put that in your calculator and round it, you'll get 32 1/100th. And this is an angle, so we're going to put our degrees sign with it. Number 3 says solve triangle ABC with angle A equal to 71 degrees. So I'm going to write on here, there's an angle. A, that's a side, a little a is a side, that's 45, and another little c is another side. Now, oh, this is not a good thing. Okay, that is not a good thing. That tells us right away, we might have 2 triangles, because that's not a good thing right there. So, we got to check our angle. Is this acute? Well, it is. It is definitely an acute angle. So since it's acute, let's check our side, our matching side. 45 is the smaller of the 2 sides. So we have angle side side, an acute angle, and our matching angle is the smallest. So we know we might have 2 possible triangles here. So I'm going to start this problem thinking in mind, I might have 2 triangles. So I'll draw my picture, 71 degree angle. Here's my angle A, and here's my angle A. Oh, I keep moving my screen. Let's try this again. Let's put angle A right here. That's 71 degrees. I'm having a hard time writing this. Let's try writing a little bit better. So my angle A is right there, and that's 71 degrees. I know side A must be across from angle A, so I could do it like this with my smallest, or my longest side being on the bottom. So across from this, A equals 45, and that would put my longest side, 47, down here on the bottom. Or my other option, I could have my longest side go on the top of my triangle. I'm going to still have this be angle A. This would be 71 degrees. And across from angle A, this is my longest side. It's going to look something like this, actually. So angle A here would be 45. Not angle, that's a side. Side A would be 45. Angle A is 71. And then my longer side, my C, could be over here. That could be 47. So we need to set it up, and notice that no matter which of these triangles you look at, you'd have the sine of 71. So the sine of 71 over 71 degrees over 45 equals, now the angle C is the next thing I can find, so it equals the sine of angle C over 47. And we'd have the exact same setup for the other triangle. So to find my angle C for the second triangle, I'm just going to do 180 degrees minus whatever I find for my first triangle. And that's how I find my angle C, which on this second triangle, angle C would be right here. That's how I find my two different angle C's. So if I actually do the work here and I cross multiply, I would have 47 times the sine of 71 degrees equals 45 times the sine of C. We're going to divide both sides by 45. So if you put this into your calculator, you'll get a value, but that's our sine of C. So whatever that is, you need to do the inverse sine of to get C alone. So if you do that, you'll find that C is about equal to, and I'm going to round to 2 decimals, 80.95 degrees. So in this case, my C is 80.95 degrees. So I have two possible triangles. My answer, I'm going to put two possible triangles. I know one is 80.95 degrees. The other one, I'm going to do 180 minus 80.95 degrees. And if I subtract those, I get 99.05 degrees. So that's my other possible angle C, 99.05 degrees. I still need to find angle B, and I need to find side B. So to find our angle B, we are going to subtract from 180. So these three angles have to add up to 180. So to find this angle right here, I'm going to say 180 minus 80.95 minus 71. Okay, so for my angle, this would be angle B. So for angle B, I'm going to do 180 minus 80 and 95 hundredths minus 71. And that angle B would give me 28.05 degrees. So that's one possible, 28.05 degrees. For my angle B on my second triangle, for my angle B here, I'm going to do 180 degrees minus, I know one of my angles is 99.05 degrees, because I just found that one right here, minus the 71 degree angle that I was given, and if I subtract those, I get 9.95 degrees. So my second possible angle B is 9.95 degrees. So now I just need to find side B for both of my triangles. So for my first triangle, I need to do this over this. So that would be the sine of my angle B, which is 28.05, over my side B, which I don't know, so I'm going to put a B there, equals, and I'm then use this original problem. So it equals sine of 71 degrees over 45. And then we would cross multiply to solve those. You're going to end up with 45 times the sine. I'll write it right here. 45 times the sine of 28.05 equals B times the sine of 71 degrees. Divide both sides by the sine of 71 degrees. And that would leave me B all alone. So divide them both by sine of 71 degrees. And if you put this in your calculator, you'll find that side B for our first triangle is 22.38. And that's a length, so I'm not going to put a unit on that one. We still need to find side B for our second triangle. So for my second triangle here, I'm going to still use the sine of 71 degrees over 45. But that's now going to equal the sine of, I need side B, so I'll put B on the bottom, and then I'm going to use angle B for my second triangle, 9.95 degrees. And again, I'm still following the same process here. I'll cross multiply 45 times the sine of 9.95 equals the sine of 71 times b. Divide both sides by the sine of 71. Okay, and then you'll find your third side is 8.22. So notice I round to 2 decimal places for each of my locations. I started by setting up my 2 separate triangles. I know to do that because it was angle side side. And I found my angle B for my first triangle, and then I subtracted angle B from 180 to find my, or I'm sorry, I found my angle C for my first triangle. Subtracted that from 180 to find angle C on my second triangle, and then found all the rest of the parts accordingly. Number 4, it says solve triangle ABC with angle C equal to 85 degrees, side B equal to 33, and side C equal to 28. So we use this when we have side angle side or side side side. That's when we know we use the law of sines. So I'm going to start by drawing my picture. I'm going to draw my triangle here. So I've got side C, that's 85 degrees. So it looks something like this. I may have said side C, I meant angle C. Angle C is 85 degrees. So side C would be right across from that. Okay. And I've got my side B, which is 33. So I could pick either of these sides and put right here, B equals 33. And here's my side B. Now I wasn't really thinking, this is the law of sine, so let's make sure we won't have 2 triangles. I've got an angle, a side, and a side. Okay, now that's a bad word, so we need to double check. Let's see here. My angle is acute. 85 degrees is an acute angle, so okay, I got it. One more thing to check. I might have 2 triangles still. Side C, my matching side, that is the smaller of my 2 sides. So I could have 2 triangles here because my matching side is the smaller of the 2 sides. So I could have this triangle, and then let me set up my other possible triangle that I might have. So I could have it look like that, or I could have it look like this. And this would give me my C here, which is 85 degrees. My C over here is 28. And then this would put my B up here at 33, and this would be my angle B. So we need to find angle B. We know we might have 2 triangles, so we're looking out for that. So to find my angle B on this triangle, I'm going to do the sine of 85 degrees over 28 equals the sine of angle B over 33. So now I'm going to cross multiply. I'll have 33 times the sine of 85 equals 28 times the sine of B. I want my B alone, so I'm going to divide both sides by 28. So I'll have the sine of B equals, and put this into your calculator, you'll get a decimal here. You'll get a decimal. So to get this B alone, we want to do the inverse sine of our answer. So if you do the inverse sine of your answer to get your angle B, it's going to give you an error message. As soon as you read that error message, we know that our triangles are not possible. So no triangles are possible for this one. And notice I went through the same process. I've got angle side side, my angle's acute, my matching side is the smallest side, so I thought maybe 2 triangles. But then I got an error message at this step down here. So it's just not possible. Well, let's look at the other side. Okay, this says 2 sides of a sport pennant are each 18 inches long, and the angle between those 2 sides is 50 degrees. So, okay, I got a sports pennant. I've got a 50-degree angle in between 2 sides that are 18 inches long. What is the area of the pennant? Okay, area. So my area, I've got to decide which area formula to use. I've got one area formula that I use when I just have all the sides, and I have another area formula that I use if I have two sides in the included angle. And I've got two sides in the included angle, so I'm going to use my area formula. That's 1/2 times my two sides times my sine of my angle. So my area is going to equal 1/2 times my two sides, so times 18 times the sine of 50 degrees. And again, I knew this because when I drew my picture, this angle is between these two sides, so I know to use this formula right here. So my area, if you just put that into your calculator, you'll get 124 point, let me just double check, 0.5 times 18 times, I want to make sure I give you the right one, times the sine of 50, and you will get 124 point, and if you round this to one decimal, I'm going to write down what my calculator says right here, so we can talk about our rounding. Here's what my calculator says. I want 2 decimal places. So I'm going to look at this. The 9 says to go up. So if I move this up, that would leave me 0, 9, going up 1 would leave me with 10. So it's 124.10. And my units here, it's inches, so it's area, and so it's inches squared. And that would be my answer. Let's look at number 6. It says solve triangle ABC with angle B equal to 77 degrees, angle A or side A equal to 25, and side C equal to 35. And it notes right here, use the law of cosines. So you should recognize what the law of cosines is, and if you look down below, it's actually on, it's listed right here on this practice quiz. So I want to use my law of cosines. I know my side A and my side C. I know my angle B, so I'm going to use the one that's got cosine of B. So I'm going to say B squared equals A squared plus C squared minus 2AC times the cosine of B. So B squared equals A is 25 squared plus C is 35 squared minus 2 times A is 25 times C is 35 times the cosine of B. So I need to break this down. I want to find this piece by piece. If you do 25 squared plus 35 squared, that's 1,850. I got my minus. Okay. And if you put, I wrote cosine B. I should have wrote cosine of 77 because B is 77 degrees. And if you put this all into your calculator, you'll get 393.66. So you get 393.66. There's a minus sign in the middle, and that equals my B squared. So to get my B alone, B squared equals, let's subtract those two numbers, 1,850 minus 393 and 66 hundredths. That would leave you with 1,456 and 34 hundredths. But to get B alone, we got to square root each side. So B equals 38.16. So my side B is 38.16. And that's a length, so I'm just going to leave it just like that. Now I need to finish solving my triangle. So let me sketch my picture here. Since I haven't sketched a picture yet, I'm going to draw my picture to make sure I've got everything set up accurately. So I need, my B is 77 degrees. There's my B. Across from it is my side B, and that's 38.16. And then I have got, that's my side B, and then I've got my side A, which is 25, so I can put side A here. And that'll leave me with angle A over here. And I've got my side C, which is 35, so if I put 35 here, that'll give me angle C up here. So I sketched a triangle. Now we just need to go through and finish solving this triangle. So now I know one of my angles. I still need to know another angle. So let's find angle A. Okay, so if I want to find angle A, I'm still going to use my law of cosine, but I'm going to use the law of cosines that's got angle A in it so that I can find my angle A. So to use the law of cosines, it has cosine of A, if that's A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine of A. So my side A is 25, that'd be 25 squared equals my side B is 38.16, so I've got 38.16 squared plus side C is 35 squared minus 2 times 38.16, to write it down here, times 35 times the cosine of A. So we need to break this down piece by piece. 25 squared, it's going to give me 625 equals, okay, now I'm going to simplify this piece right here. 38.16 squared plus 35 squared, and that gives me 2,681.19 minus, now let's simplify this piece right here. That's 2 times 38.16 times 35, and that gives me 2,671.2 times the cosine of A. Okay, now I need to keep solving this, so I'm going to move my 2,681 to the other side. So I've got 625 minus 2,681.19 equals, now I've got these two things I've got this multiplied by cosine A, so I'm just going to divide it by it on the other side. And that equals my cosine of A. So I really moved these two pieces both to the other side, but I had to do it in the proper order. So if I do 625 minus 2,681.19 and then divide it by negative 2,671.2, I get the cosine of A equals 0.7697 blah blah blah. But I want to find A, so I get this equals a decimal. I want to find A, so I need to do the inverse cosine of my decimal. So if you do the inverse cosine on your calculator of your answer, you'll get 39.67 as your angle A. So angle A is 39.67, and that is a degrees. So angle A is 39.67. To find angle C, we're just going to subtract from 180. So to find our angle C, we're just going to say 180 minus 39.67 minus 77. So again, I'm just subtracting from 180, and that would give me 63.33 degrees. So law of sines, if you start with the law of sines, you should continue your problem with the law of sines. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a little bit of an error, possibly. Let's do number 7 here. It's our last problem. It says, what's the area of a triangular banner with sides of length 28, 35, and 47? All right, so I'm looking for the area. What is the area? And I've got 3 sides. As soon as you see area with 3 sides, just move my screen up a little bit. As soon as you see that, you're going to be looking at this formula. Okay? So we need to find S first. So S equals 1/2 times A plus B plus C. 28 plus 35 plus 47. So S equals, if you just simplify that, you'll get S equals 55. So we found our S, so now our A equals, our area equals, take the square root and take your S, and then subtract each side from S. So 55 minus 28 times 55 minus 35 times 55 minus 47. So my area equals, if you just put that all into your calculator, you'll get 487.44. And my units here is centimeters squared. So this is my final answer. All right, and these are all the answers to the practice quiz. Have a great night.